When Jacob was 16, people in his small American town thought he was wasting his life. While other boys spent their afternoons at football, practice, or hanging out at the diner, Jacob could be found behind the counter of a worn-down laundromat, folding clothes beside his mother. The place smelled of detergent and old machines, and the roof leaked when it rained. To most people, it was a dead end. Jacob's mother, Maria, never complained. After Jacob's father passed away, she worked 2 jobs to keep food on the table. The laundromat was the only business she could afford to buy, and even then, it barely survived. Jacob saw the exhaustion in her eyes every night. Without being asked, he started coming after school, fixing broken machines, mopping floors, and learning how to manage customers. Friends laughed. Teachers warned him he was throwing away his future. "You're too smart for this," they said. Jacob just nodded and kept working. What no one knew was that every night after closing up, he studied business books borrowed from the library. He learned about budgeting, customer service, and small business growth while his mother slept in the back office. Years passed. The old laundromat slowly changed. Broken washers were replaced. The walls were repainted. Maria smiled more often. By the time Jacob finished high school, the business was profitable enough to pay his college tuition, so long as he attended a local school and kept helping on weekends. After college, Jacob didn't leave town like everyone expected. Instead, he expanded. He opened a second laundromat, then a third, each one cleaner and more modern than the last. He hired struggling single parents and offered flexible hours, remembering how hard life had been for his own mother. 10 years later, the town gathered for the grand opening of a large community center. Jacob stood at the front, nervous, as the mayor introduced him as the primary donor. The building would offer job training, childcare, and free meals for families in need. When applause filled the room, Jacob turned to his mother. Tears ran down her face. Only then did people understand. He hadn't been wasting his time in that old laundromat. He had been learning responsibility, sacrifice, and loyalty, lessons no classroom could teach. Jacob leaned over and whispered, "This all started with you." Maria squeezed his hand and smiled.